started. Kelsey and I, whoa, that sounds like a cool sound. Kelsey and I decided that we were going to forego recognition for sake of wanting you guys to have all of this information. So if you guys want to go ahead and blow up the chat with your people, we would love to see who you're shouting out this week. But we are going to go ahead and dive in about 30 seconds. So if you have anyone to shout out, go ahead and do it in the chat. And we are going to go. Kelsey, you locked and loaded? Okay. Danielle, I assume you have everybody to let in. Awesome. Thank you. I should have reminded you we had a double call tonight with double teams. Change that setting.
I'm gonna change it next week. The password, like the workout link. So you won't have to do it.
Yes. I don't know why.
All right, can we get some lines muted here? Katie Ann. Okay, and can you make me a host so I can share my screen? Thank you. All right, let's go. So first things first is Kelsey and I just got off of leadership. If you guys don't know what leadership is for 5-star coaches and above. It's an event that they do every single year. So as soon as you guys hit the rank of 5-star, you'll be invited to this exclusive, really amazing event. It's more of a vacation than it is a I don't want to say it's more of than a learning event, but you're not as busy like you would be at like a summit event or a new leader conference. It's a stretch of 4 days and they give you the evenings off. And it's a really great time to bond with other leaders and you get the highest level training. So it's been my favorite event the last 4 or 5 years in a row. I don't know how many years I've gone now, but I love it. And what we always do after is, we kind of break it down and we want to bring you guys things that you can apply right away. So that's the perks. Somebody is still talking. That's driving me crazy. That's the perks of having coaches on your organization that go to these events is you guys get all of the information too, and hopefully striving to be there with us next year. So I'm going to dive right in. We're kind of splitting this call into 2 parts. I'm going to be talking about something that the client customer experience, which is somewhere that we just want to get your heads turning and get you kind of in this idea of going back to the basics and putting the client first and those results stories first and giving you some tactical worksheets and just my mindset around everything. And then Kelsey's going to grace us with her social media takeaways and kind of run through some really amazing tips that you guys can utilize tonight, tomorrow, moving forward, that we learned from some top leaders for social media. And then I'm going to run you through like just some compliance stuff really quickly that, they touch on every year at leadership that we want to make sure that we're passing on. And then we'll end it with just a few things that Carl talked about. They gave some stats about the company and we just want to be able to share those with you guys. So is everybody ready? All right, let's go. So those of you who don't know me, because I know we're sharing calls tonight, my name's Natalie Bailey. I have been a coach for almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years in February. So really excited, honored to be a part of this call tonight and be 7 years. Oh my gosh, 7 years in February. There we go. It's 7 years. There we go. Okay, so 7 years almost. That's crazy. Wait, I'm going into my 7th year, right? Like I haven't 7 years. Okay. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen because I'm a visual person. Raise your hand. Anybody else visual? Sweet. I didn't make any, hold on one second before I do that. I didn't make any cool slides, but I do have some worksheet type things. Let me close this out. You guys don't want to see all this junk. Okay, now it's nice and clean. I have my thingy ready for you. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I want to introduce you guys to something called this. If my coaches are going to hate me because they're like, seriously, Natalie, you're going to talk about this again, but I feel like we can't drive it home enough, is this idea of this healthy pipeline. And you guys have this. I hope you printed it. Just something to give you to think about. This is a different type of tracking system that I've had the option of getting my hands on within a training that I'm in. And the reason that I'm sharing it with you guys tonight is because it really aligns with what leadership was all about. And what leadership was all about this year was really this concept of coaches struggling to bring on coaches into their organization, the getting started right process, new coaches getting started new coaches seeing success right out of the gates, all of these things. And what we kept hearing over and over and over again, from top leaders about where they're finding those working coaches, it's coming 100% from where? Challenge groups, right? Like it's coming from the customer experience. And this worksheet is really cool because our business is broken up into 4 buckets, okay? You have that community bucket, which is your social media, which is where you serve and add value. And then you have that client bucket. That client bucket really falls under first time Shakeology, first time challenge pack, first time buyers in anything in general. And that loyal client is going to be the category where these people are like the retention rate. They've got Shakeology 3, 4, 5 months in a row. Like they continue to show up in your challenge groups. Like anytime there's a VIP, like they want access to it, right? Those are your loyal clients, your ride or dies. And then lastly is your working team, which pretty self-explanatory. That is typically a coach on your team. It's all of us on this team call, whoever that you're sponsoring in the business. And I think what's happened, network wide is that we focus so much on that client category and we focus so much on the working team category that we forget that we're still building community, and we forget that, it's just as important to help people every month, but it's just as important to create retention within our organizations. So I love the way that this is laid out, because it really shows you where you're falling short on a weekly basis. You could print one of these worksheets out every single week and make it a goal to fill your buckets. And at the end of the week, you'll look at your buckets and be like, where did I not work enough? What did I not do enough of? And that's where you can put your emphasis. So for sake of this call, we want to talk about the 2 middle categories, which is your client category and your loyal client category. And with that, it's this process of how do I turn that client into a loyal client? And this could all fall under the categories of bod groups, of weekly emails, of check-ins, whatever way that you're serving your audience, which honestly is where a lot of us are falling short, because we get people started right. They might show up for the first 30 days, and then what happens? They might fall off of the face of the earth, whatever it may be, we don't know. And then where's our focus the next month? Our focus is we'll make sure we hit Success Club again. We're constantly bringing in new, which we absolutely should be, but it's imperative, guys, that we really focus on that customer experience and turning those clients into loyal clients, because guess what? There's the struggle with working coaches is because of cold invites, coach opportunity webinars to people that we don't really know, but we think would make great coaches because they inspire us on social media. We all know that the best coaches are the ones that get results, that believe in the products and programs that we have to offer, that trust you as a coach because they've just got the best client experience with you, that they trust in you to guide them through such a process as coaching. And I'm finding that where people are falling short with inviting or bringing on new coaches to their team is because that loyal client category is really non-existent. You know what I mean? Like we're really bumped into that new client category, which is those new Success Club points every month. And even the community aspect, we're trying to create a brand and we're focusing on avatar, and now Reels is a thing, and TikTok, and that's all really important, but it's not, you have to find a way to balance these 4 categories to constantly have that even flow in business that you guys desire, which we all know that working coaches, successful coaches are the ones that are going to build your volume and build your business. This is not some lone ranger thing. This is a team sport. And we know that in order to be successful financially long-term, that working coaches is where it's at. I always say that. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I just got distracted by the chat. Yes. Okay, so let's dive in. You guys have this. So if you want to use this, what I've actually done for myself is, I wanted to share how to use this, is I've actually printed, this was Mackenzie's idea. She's like, let's print 10 of these because there's 10 weeks left in the year, where there was last week. And every single week we'll label them, like, you know, every single week from Sunday to Sunday, the dates on them. And then, you know, we have this little check-in group coffee chat on Wednesdays. So we'll hold each other accountable to see if we've filled our buckets. And that's kind of what our accountability to each other is. So if you guys are up for that, you can find an accountability buddy and set goals for yourselves, right? Like maybe your goal for this coming week is, I want to add a client, I want to add 2 clients, I want to add 5 clients. So you'll do a number 1 through 5. Maybe you want to build your community by 50 followers, or maybe you want to build your community this week by 10 followers or 5. So what's the activities? Obviously, they're going to play into that. Rank or number your community bucket 1 to 5, and try to really fill your pipeline and fill your bucket. And then when the week's over, turn the page and do it all over again. This really keeps you focused on having a healthy business. Because I think the problem with most of us is that we have a really healthy client base. And I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. We don't have really healthy, loyal client base. Some of us might, and we don't have a really healthy working team base because there's not a lot of duplication right now. So the second thing is this. So you can set goals like that. You can set goals for new clients. How many new clients do you want in a week? How many new team members do you want in a week? You know, set 1, 2, 5, 10. It's your business, your limit. And then sales, like, you know, what's the cumulative amount of sales? Some people like to track their sales. I never have. Melanie Mitro told me that I need to. It's just a good baseline for setting goals. So if I want to sell 10 challenge packs in a month, well, what's my sales goal? Do I want to sell $3,200 in product or whatever it may be? So that would encourage me to see things as like upselling or offering Energize in those challenge packs as an extra, or beach bars to try to hit that sales goal. That's an option too. And then what I love at the bottom are these 3 squares. If you guys can see, there's 3 big squares, and then underneath them, there are 10 small squares. And this is because this is really the reality of inviting. Like a big square is a close on a sale. Like I just sold a challenge pack, check, but typically it takes about 10 invites. So 10 small squares to close on that one big sale, right? So this is a cool tracking system for you because you can look at it and say, okay, it's October 21st. If I want to hit Success Club this month, I know that I at least need to be sending 30 invites. Well, let me just focus on that first one. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to make an awesome post, and I'm going to be really intentional in my stories, and I'm going to collect an invite list from that, and I'm going to go out and invite my 10. And usually the statistics of that are 1 in 10 people sign up. And as you get better with communication and conversations and your following, you know, that you're going to close that gap. It might take 2 or 3, or it might take 5 to close a sale. But again, just a tracking system for you to have and get you guys in the mindset of how important all 4 of these buckets are and how much we should really be trying to keep them all full. Okay. So the next thing that I want to go into with that is, let's talk about bod groups for a minute, because this is something that we've not really like gotten this huge, that we've created this huge hype around. And to be honest with you, it's been hard to create hype around something that's been having a lot of technical difficulties. I think a lot of us got really pumped about bod groups, and then we tried to transfer over, and then we couldn't schedule posts, and we couldn't do anything, and we got really frustrated. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, on the first day of leadership, I texted Kelsey because they were having a bod groups conversation. Michael Neiman was talking, and Brittany Leggett was talking, and Danielle Natoni was talking, and they put this bod groups presentation together. And I straight up texted Kelsey, and I was like, this is leadership. why are we talking about bond groups right now? You know what I mean? Like, I want to talk about high level leadership things and how to recruit coaches and help those coaches see success. And I want the strategies behind the getting started right processes of these top people and all of these things that we usually learn at leadership. And the first thing that they brought to us was bond groups. And it, I was a little taken back from it, like I said, but then Danielle Natoni, raise your hand, you guys know Danielle. She's really, really great coach in the company. She said, she was like, here's where I'm at with it. And I'm going to be honest with you. And she said it like this. And she was like, you guys remember, if you've been around, she's like, I'm a dinosaur coach, but if you've been around for more than 5 years, then you were around for the transition of Beachbody on demand from DVDs. And we were all like, yeah, we remember. And she's like, and nobody thought it was a good idea. And she's like, but Carl did. And if you guys don't know, Carl Deichler is our CEO of the company. He's literally the smartest, most genius person I've ever had the pleasure of speaking to in my life. He's incredible. He's full of integrity. He's such a visionary. He could tell me to eat poop and I would. Like, I just trust everything that comes out of his mouth. He is just literally amazing. And he had this crazy idea, what was it, 4 years ago now, guys, that he wanted to take away DVDs and he wanted to put all of the workout programs in a catalog on a streaming device and let people have access to every single one of them. And back then, like, we earned a commission every time somebody bought DVDs. So every time a program came out, or if somebody wanted to do a new program, they were buying DVDs. That was my journey as a coach. I wanted Insanity. So I would spend $150. I would get the Insanity DVDs. I would do the workout for 60 days. And then I would go spend another $150 and buy the P90X DVDs. And I would go do it. Like, my investment in Beachbody, everybody's investment in Beachbody back then was huge because everybody wanted to keep doing the programs. So when Carl created this idea of, well, let's just give it to them as a membership and give it to them all for free, everybody freaked out. We were like, no, Carl, this is terrible. We're all going to lose so much money. We're going to lose so much income. We get commissions off of all of that. And you think about the people that are super fans like we are that keep coming back for more. And there's so many programs. They're always going to keep investing. And nonetheless, Carl went ahead with his idea, right? And what do you know? I think it was not the next year, it was the following year. There was this huge hit in the company because coaches were getting pissed off and people were starting to quit or switch network marketing companies because their income was actually going down. Because Carl told us in times of transitional change like this, there's going to be a dip before there's a shoot up. And the dip was that the compensation plan was changing because now we weren't getting immediate commission sales. We were seeing it in lump sum via the renewals, right? And in that first year of renewals, most of the renewals were coming in November and December because that's when it originally launched. But then you give it a full year later where we're signing people up in February, then we're signing people up in March and in April and in May and so on and so forth. Now that it's finally kicked in, we're getting renewal commissions every single month, which has made the income shoot right back up. And I don't know about you guys, I can't see very many of you, but raise your hand if you would die without Beachbody on demand. Like, if we had to do workout programs right now with a DVD player in today's world, I would absolutely be like, what? This is stupid. I want the workouts with the mirror, like that magic mirror. I want a Peloton. I want all this cool stuff. But because our guy, Carl Deichler, stays freaking relevant, is a visionary, he saw this fitness catalog that was going to be our future, and it was. So when Danielle was telling that story, I was like, oh, she's so right. Like, if Carl tells me to eat poop, I'm going to eat poop. Carl's telling us, guys, to get on this bod groups train which means we need to get on this bod groups train, because he has this vision with something, and there's not very many people that are hopping on board. Most people are staying with their Facebook groups. Most people are staying with their Instagram chats, which I have both now, by the way. I have an Instagram chat and a bod group. But Carl's like, I'm telling you, this is going to be the next big thing. The way that you get to showcase, and the way that, you can use one app, the Beachbody On Demand app, and click and toggle back and forth from workout programs to a challenge group. How you can actually send somebody in your challenge group right now who's like, man, what's that girl drinking? I want some. You could be like, oh, well, here's a share cart. The way that it's supposed to drive volume and create retention in the future is supposed to be this amazing volume driven opportunity for us as coaches. If we just roll through these ebbs and flows, we roll through this transition, and we learn to just adopt to this new way. I can't sit here and tell you with full confidence that I see the vision fully, but I tell you that I trust Carl with my life. I have since the day that I walked into this business, and he hasn't led me astray yet. So if you guys don't have a bod group, I recommend you start making bod groups, and you start making as many as possible. Something that I started noticing that I never would have had access to is I get random invitations. Like, people randomly want to join my bod groups because it's free leads, right? They get notified now that their coach is running a challenge group, and they can request to join themselves. So random free leads are starting to request to join my groups, which gives me an opportunity to connect with people that never reached out to my emails before, that never wanted to talk to me when I was like, hey, I'm your free Beachbody coach. Well, now they see in their email that an accountability is offered by their coach. And these are things that we just need to start hopping on. So really fast, I want to hop in and just kind of make a bod group. In case any of you guys have never done this, there's tutorials in the Coach Online office under Grow My Business, and then Beachbody On Demand tools. There's a whole training guide on it. There's quick videos that you can watch. So make sure you write that down. Go to your Coach Online office, Grow My Business, bod training, product training guides. With that, it's super easy. It's never been easier to make a group. It's easier to make a bod group than it was to make a My Challenge Tracker app. So if you start a group, you just get started. It's no past group. I'm going to select a theme. I'm going to do fitness. My group's going to start tomorrow. Language, I speak English. Who can see this, right? Is this going to be on my Beachbody page for my customers and leads, plus my coach page? I'm going to let everybody see this group. I really don't want Carl showing up in my challenge group because it freaks my customers out. I don't know about you guys, but they don't like to see Carl like, hey, like, I thought this was like not old, whatever. So anyway, I'm just going to run this through the end of the year. I was actually on my diamond chat this morning, and I told my girls that I wanted to be in a challenge group with my diamond. So we'll go ahead and I'll just go ahead and make that right now. Hopefully. Okay, what's my group name? Diamond Coach Accountability Group. I don't know. I can go back and fix that. And that's a cool background. I didn't even have to create a banner. Awesome. But I kind of want to change it. So let me pick one of these cool images. Actually, I don't. I'm going to leave it because that looks cool. Okay, next, real quick. I'm sorry if this is super introductory, but I know that you guys, some of you might not know how to do this. Add an intro video. So you can actually make a quick video and upload it to YouTube, and then add your link right here, and it'll be a little blurb of yourself, that your customers or future customers, anybody that requests to join your group, can see. Welcome, diamonds. Let's kick some booty. You can say whatever to anybody. This is just my people. So what do they have to join? Beachbody On Demand. All my coaches drink Shakeology. So both of those are a requirement, and that's really it. Next is going to be pick up to 3 testimonials to show. Now I'm going to skip this right now. Not going for that. Congrats, your group is ready. Preview. Cool. There it is. So it's ready. Now, how do I go? Hit the X button, and then I'm going to publish this group. Now, I want to show you guys something else really cool, and then I'm going to move it. I'm going to pass it over to Kelsey here in a minute. I'm going to cover one more thing after this. I'm kind of like switching gears. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know Kelsey's, she's a diamond of mine. I don't know, star diamond of mine, her email off the top of my head. And I don't really feel like going to teambeachbody.com and going to sponsorship drill down and finding it. So I'm just going to click coach office. I'm going to find my coaches and oh, there she is. So I'm going to just go ahead and send her an invitation. Kelsey, you better join me. And then that's it. Like you can go to your past groups and invite other coaches from the past. I'll go ahead and do Mackenzie. She's on here. And I'm going to have to individually invite some other diamonds that I mentor that I'm not personally sponsored by. And there's another one in my spouse account that I don't personally sponsor. So those two in my first CBC are good. All right, so those invitations are sent. So I go back, here's the invitations. Here's what's really cool. If you guys click on this invite section right here and you find the people that you've invited to the group, you can actually create the share a cart from this location. So you don't technically have to use the share a cart website. You can actually do it from your challenge group now, which is really cool. So quick introductory to that. Everybody still with me? You guys good? Cool. The chat's blowing up. Is there anything that I want? Okay. Cool. You guys are chatting. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to keep going. One more thing I want to talk about. I need a volunteer. Can somebody who is a mama who works full-time, somebody that is pretty consistent in their business, like hits Success Club or makes that a goal to hit Success Club every month, would they want to be my volunteer?
Works full-time as what? As a coach?
Like out of, yeah, no, works full-time, like has a full-time career outside of coaching. All right. I see Elena first, so I'm going to go with her.
I'm gonna say I will if nobody else says anything.
All right, cool. So next part of this section, we're going to talk, I'm going to teach you guys time blocking. And this is a really simple concept that I feel has made such a difference for our busy girls. And with everything going on, with everything coming through the pipeline, with goodness gracious, the homeschooling and everything is just changing and the pandemic has been crazy, adopting this discipline and this time blocking schedule is actually been a huge lifesaver, even for me. And I don't work full time, but I'm a full-time Beachbody coach. I have a child. I've dealt with deployments. I've dealt with all of the things. So I have a ton of other obligations that I'm a part of. So I get busy too, but it's just more relatable sometimes when somebody has a full-time job. So thank you, Elena, for volunteering. Here's what we're going to do. I want to show you guys something. And I want you to make this a priority if you feel like you don't have enough time to crush your Beachbody goals. And I'm not saying that this is going to solve all of your problems, but I'm saying it's an incredible place to start. And it's an incredible realization to have when you actually see the way that I prioritize this and in the way that I've been teaching my new coaches to prioritize this. So are you ready, Elena?
I am.
Okay.
Don't mind my face if it gets really red.
No, it's fine. So we're going to get kind of personal. I'm going to ask you about your life. So talk to me about your job. Like, what are your hours Monday through Friday?
So I'm a nurse.
Okay.
And I work 12-hour shifts.
Okay. Perfect. So give me an example, like what days a week do you work those 12-hour shifts?
It changes. So it's 3 days a week. So for example, I worked yesterday, today, and then I work Saturday, Sunday this week.
Okay. So so you worked Tuesday,
Wednesday.
From what time to what time?
7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
All right. So 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. I'm writing this on here because I don't know how to do it on there. Unless somebody wants to help me be fancy. Wait, is that a pencil? Oh,
Yeah, you should have drawing tools.
I actually printed one here, so we can try this. Okay, I'm gonna write it and then I'll put it up here and show you. Okay, so when did you work today?
Today was Maggie just said today was actually an 8-hour shift day. So
Okay.
that to make it easy, you can use a 12-hour day if you want.
Okay. So 7 to 7 or 7 to same schedule every time?
Yeah, 7 to 7:30.
No night shifts or anything?
No,
So you do that again on Saturday and Sunday?
correct.
I'm drawing my bubbles. If you guys print this off and you want to follow along, you can like do this. Or if you're thinking about yourself and you print this off and you work full time, go ahead and just like literally, here's what I'm doing. If you guys can see in my little,
You're just coloring in the
I
boxes.
am straight up coloring, make me the speaker view so you guys can see this. I'm scribbling out 7 to 7 because she's literally not available. Okay, so next thing that I'm going to do real quick is, are you married?
Yes.
Okay, so do you have a date that's planned this week, or is that on your calendar, something that you guys make a priority, or is there time that you guys spend together to watch a show, or what is that? What is your spouse?
So dinner time is like our big non-negotiable. Now, obviously on the days that I work, that doesn't happen because I get home by 8 p.m.
Okay.
But on my days off, dinner is always sit down time, and that's usually around 5:30.
5:30. Okay, so on your days off, so 5:30 till when would you say? The rest of the evening, or?
We sit down at the dinner table, so like 6:30ish.
Okay, so we're gonna say 5:30 to 6:30. You're blocked off for dinner on Monday, Thursday, and Friday, because the other 2 days you're not home.
Correct.
Okay. Cool. So if you guys are doing this along or you're making note, like first you have to prioritize your work because you can't miss that. It's the way you pay your bills. Second, you're going to prioritize your spouse because obviously if you don't have a healthy relationship there, then you got to deal with the situation at hand. Now your children. So I assume on Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, you have some sort of childcare or daycare or something like that. What about the other days? What about Monday, Thursday, and Friday?
That's me.
That's all you. So your
That's all
mama
me.
all day long, Monday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yes.
And how old is your son?
Son, yeah. He's about to be 15 months,
Okay.
which is crazy to me. So he's one.
So 15 months. So let's take into consideration like new parent. She's only really with him 3 days a week because she's working the other 4 days a week. So spending time with her son is obviously going to be really important to her, which it should be. So talk to me about naps. Does he nap 1 or 2 times?
He does. So he's transitioning from his 2 naps, which is difficult because I banked on those 2 naps. But
one long one is clutch. So it is a transition though. But
yeah, if he can do 1 2-hour nap, that's like solid. But
okay,
yeah.
Is that what he does? 1 2-hour nap?
Yeah. So yeah, and he's kind of in between morning and afternoon. So right now he kind of rules the roost. But yeah, anywhere from for this purpose, you can say like he'll usually go down around 10 to like 11:40.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do nap from 10 to 11:40. All right, so I got his schedule in there of knowing when you're without him, but when do you work out? When do you get up in the morning?
Morning is now my workout time. Yeah.
When does he wake up? When does Dane wake up?
He wakes up between, he's been a little early lately. It's like 7:30 is his normal.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put 7, like why not?
Yeah.
Put 7. Dane wakes up at 7. Cool. So that's not really available time because you got to get up and do the whole morning routine. Like I get all that breakfast, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't work till 7 a.m. on Tuesdays. Are you working out before you go to work?
Not on my 12-hour shift days.
So you work out when you get home? Bless her.
Those are my rest days now, actually, now with him, to be honest. So my workout days are on my days off, and then the days that I work.
So what time are you working out at like 6 every morning then?
5.
You work out at 5?
5 a.m.
Okay. So you already have a schedule, it seems like. This is good.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm assuming that after your workout, you're doing some sort of power hour. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
By
you're
6 a.m., I am sitting down and working the business.
okay. So you do about an hour of
Yep.
work. Okay. That's great. So you do 1 hour of work at least 3 mornings a week.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, yeah, 3 mornings a week. All right. So you do 1 hour of work 3 mornings a week. So what do you do from the time Dane wakes up until his nap at 10? So basically from 7 to 10. Are you just with him in the morning, or do you
Yeah.
put a show on, or is that like a no, or what's the priorities there?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Like with Dane's morning schedule, do you put him, like, what does he like to do? Is this Mama Dane time until that first nap? Like nothing else, no phone, no anything. It's straight my son time.
Yes. So no phone as in no working the business, but like it's playtime / like household stuff like laundry and cleaning while playing. Yeah, all that.
So your mornings are basically full. So I'm going to put house every single day from basically 7 to 10. You're simultaneously being present mom, you're doing the laundry, you're doing all the responsibilities at home. Okay, so what about during nap?
Nap time, I sit back down and that's when I regroup with and pick up where I left off from my morning work hours. So if I didn't finish my vitals, I'll do that first. And then if I finish my vitals, I dive into my bod group. I do run monthly bod groups. So checking in with my girls.
Cool. Yeah,
I
I just need to know, do you allot that time for Beachbody or no?
Yes.
Cool. So what I see already is that it's only 11 a.m. You're a full-time nurse and you've already worked 9 hours in those, like that's it. Like you've already worked 9 hours that week, 3 days a week. You have a full-time job. You sit down at dinner with your husband every day. You're present with your son. And we're not even done, girl. Like, let's talk about what happens from 12 to 5. Like, what do you do on Mondays from 12 to 5? Is that kind of like?
Yeah, so that's kind of left open for if my mom wants to do something or other
Play dates,
friends.
just
Yep.
life, that kind of thing. So, okay. So I think it's important that you don't spend all of your nights doing your business, because that's not healthy and it wouldn't be good for your marriage. But I would assume that on your nurse days, you probably just take the evening off, right? Do you get to spend time with your husband those nights? So there's
Yeah.
4 nights a week after 7 p.m. Your son's probably going to bed that you get to spend time with your husband 4 nights a week. So
I
there's
need to get better about it. Putting my phone down.
Okay, so let's
I'm
get
working
better.
on it.
So this is my point. This is time blocking, because literally on your time block, you might be like, nope, this is spouse time. Okay, this is my spouse time 4 nights a week. Oh my God, if I got 4 nights a week with my spouse, I would literally probably have 9 more kids. But anyway, so that's awesome. You get 4 nights a week with your spouse. So cool. Okay. So let me ask you this. What is your biggest, like, what are your goals with coaching? Like, what do you want from this?
Oh, so my goal for this year is to hit 2 stars. So I don't know if you guys know, but prior to this year, I was 100% a hobby coach.
Okay.
So I really made it my mission this year to change my habits. Not necessarily change the time I spend on the business, but change what I do in the time that I spend on the business, and bring on working coaches, not just challengers, which was my pride and joy before. Retention, challengers, challenge groups, like that it was my jam.
Awesome. All right, so 2 stars is a pretty big goal. That requires some work. I would say you probably need more than that hour at 6 a.m. and then that nap time hustle 3 days a week to achieve and maintain that type of business. So I would say at least 3 more hours in the week, at least 12 hours working your Beachbody business completely intentional, which would add 1 more hour in the evening after you put your son for bed. What time does he go to bed?
7:30ish.
Okay, so
yeah.
let's just say 8 o'clock, you do 1 more power hour, like just 1 more, and that's 3 days a week too, on Monday, Thursday, Friday. that's then from 8 to 9, you're doing one more power hour. And you can, even if your spouse isn't in bed, you know, by 9 o'clock, you could be done those days too. Like, how does that make you feel?
Tired.
Of course. I mean,
but
we're all
doable.
busy. Yeah, it's doable because you're only doing an hour 3 nights a week, and you're done by 9 no matter what. 4 nights a week you get to hang out and rest and chill with your spouse. Every single day you're present with your son. You actually take a block of about 12 to 5 every single day that is completely open in case you want to do something. So downtime, that's not a time to be on your phone. That's not a time to really do anything business related, because you've already worked that morning. You should have already gotten the activities done that needed to be done so that you could unplug. And at this point, if anybody's on their phone, if anybody is sitting next to their children who they say they want to be present for and scrolling Instagram, like, I don't want to hear like that we're tired or that, you know, we don't have time or anything like this, because it's scheduled in. You've even scheduled in things like cleaning. And I know we haven't covered things like doctor's appointments or grocery shopping, or like the million other responsibilities that we might have to do, like fix the flower bed on Wednesday, like who knows, right? Clean the garage, clean out the kids' closet because they're growing again, like whatever it may be. There's times where you might have to pull something away so that those extras can get done. But overall, I need to stop sharing my screen. And Kelsey, you're up in 1 minute. I'm sorry that I've been on this bandwagon thing I don't even know how to get off the damn screen share. Help me, somebody. Here it is. Okay. Like, I hope that you guys see that. And that's like, I was going to show you, but it's kind of a hot mess, but it makes sense to me of how much time you actually have away from this. So there's not burnout, and you're really sitting down mostly 3 days a week for 4 hours a day working your business. That's 12 hours a week that you are building this side hustle broken up. It's not that you're sitting down 4 hours straight. It's not that your son is screaming and you're ignoring him and you have this mom guilt. You do it before he wakes up, you do it during his nap, and you do it 1 hour after he goes to bed, only 3 days a week. You're present with your spouse every single night of the week. So your relationship continues to remain a priority. Now, if you are on your phone during that time, that's on you, right? Like, that's on you. So thank you so much for letting me into your life to show what a busy schedule looks like. And I really hope, guys, this is so tough. Like, it's tough because, like, for me, I have made a time blocking schedule, and I'm like, okay, I got it tomorrow. And then I set my alarm for 5:30 and I miss my alarm. And now my whole time blocking schedule is off. And I go back to my typical, well, let me just make it a to-do list and let me just try to check everything off throughout the day. And then I'm stressed out. Like, Kelsey, I love your mantra of when that alarm goes off in the morning and you tell yourself, like, if I don't get up, my whole day is going to be off. I would rather just get up and get that I'm tired mental fog over with once we get our workout and we feel great, and then go about, do your tasks, stay intentional, be present every single possible place that you can be present in your business, with your kids, with your spouse, on your play dates, with your mom, and rock your freaking lives. Kelsey, take us into social media. And do it in 15 minutes. I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
I
fine.
wanted to really paint that picture because that's just so important.
No, it's fine. And I think it's an important subject because that's pretty much how I had to readjust my entire life, honestly, in the past 6 months, because my daughter is 6.5 months old. So I'm also getting up at the ass crack of dawn and doing all the things. So you just have to make the changes. Like, if you want this business to work, you got to figure out how to make it work, right? And that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice family time or time away from your spouse in order to make it happen. And if you are doing that, we got a bigger issue at stake. So we want to make sure, like, I'm getting all my activities done in an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. So I'm all about that. Okay, but yeah, I'm going to switch our gears really quickly and talk about social media because I love social media. And by show of hands, and I'll look at the gallery view, how many of you guys can honestly say that you're super consistent on social media? Like never miss a day. Okay, that's a good amount of hands from people I can see. How many of you guys believe that you're adding a ton of value every single day and that the things that you are putting out there are really truly making someone's life better? How many think that they could work on that and make that a little bit more of a priority? Okay. Well, if I could get permission, oh, never mind, there it's already on here. Never mind. See that. Okay. So anyways, leadership really opened my eyes to social media, guys. And I want to preface my little part of this call by kind of setting the stage for you, because I think this is something that a lot of us forget. Social media is my jam. Okay. It's my jam. And what you guys need to understand is that you are a business. You're a business. And every business right now out there is on social media. And right now, in the middle of a pandemic, the only reason that some businesses are surviving is because of social media, because they have a way to go out there and connect with people without them actually physically walking through the doors. My local breweries are showing up every single day on Instagram. Target is still showing up in my feed. Trader Joe's has an Instagram. Walt Disney World has an Instagram. This is 2020, and this is the way of the world, guys. The people out there that you are following, these big businesses, they're all on social media, and I'll be damned if those people are not consistent as hell. They're always showing up in some way. And the thing is that every single day that you are absent on social media or you're not leveraging your social media to make a difference in someone else's life, I can tell you right now that your competition is the person out there that's going at trying to build this thing and make this thing something that they really want. They're using social media to make it happen. It doesn't matter if you've only enrolled one person. You're a business. You are your business, not Beachbody. You are your business. You are the exact same as Nike or Apple or Best Buy or Target, right? We just established the fact that they all have Instagrams and they're all working every single day because, believe it, guys, there are people out there that have never heard of Target, and they got to find ways to reach those people. The thing is, guys, is that they are still trying, even if they've established a brand. These places that we've all come to believe are so well known, they've already established a brand and they're still trying to attract people into their stores. So whatever little mindset thing you have going around on social media on why like it's not important or it's okay to miss a day or I don't need to use it or I don't need to get out of my comfort zone, you got to get rid of that story, because as a business owner, social media we're in 2020. This is how you grow a business. So I just wanted to set the stage with that. The thing that you need to understand right now is that what makes us different than Target or Walmart is that those companies are selling 24/7. You can go there, you're targeted by their ads, you know what they're about. You know that if you're going to go onto Target's page, you're going to see products. There's really no value there, right? While they're trying to reach new people, they're doing that through sales. They've built a lot of trust in their people because the people that are following those accounts and following those businesses are loyal customers because they've built the trust with those people. They've already given their value. I already know what to expect when I go to Target. I know what I'm going to get when I go there. Their marketing scheme focuses entirely on sales, but we as an individual entrepreneur get to focus on impact. We have to switch our brains from sales to connection. And what I see so many times, and all of us, I'm going to be probably just go on a limb and say every single one of us is guilty of this, is that when we are making a post, we're always thinking, how am I going to sell my next challenge pack? How am I going to talk about 30-day breakaway? How am I going to make sure that I get the Shakeology label in here so somebody can see that I'm a Beachbody coach? Instead of thinking, what can I do to really make an impact in this person's life? We aren't Walmart. We aren't Target. We are not Trader Joe's. We're not we don't want to be selling constantly on our social media, because that makes it about us. That makes them come to my page and say, she's in this for herself. She's in this because she's trying to sell me something. And if you guys go do an audit of your own pages and you're getting that feeling from your own page, this is going to be a really great section of this call for you. I promise it won't last long. So I think it's going to be very straight to the point. I want you guys to establish this mindset right now that it's never about what we can give a person. It's always about it's not what they can give to us. It's always about what's in it for them. Okay. What type of value that we can add into our lives. And I thought of this analogy, and I was super proud of myself for this, but posting just to post because it's on your business activity tracker and you have to check off a box is like taking a wet spaghetti noodle and throwing it at the wall and seeing if it's going to stick. And you can sit there and you can watch that noodle for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour, but it's going to eventually fall down. It's eventually just going to just hit the ground. So making a post with no intention, no strategy, no mission, no value, it's literally a soggy, wet noodle. And I want you guys to think about that right before you press post. Is this post a soggy, wet noodle? Or is this actually going to be something that makes a difference in someone's life? Because the thing is that if you're making a post just because oh my God, it's 9 o'clock and I haven't gotten anything up today, no one is going to be excited about your noodle. No one will. They'll scroll on to somebody else who's going to give them a freaking chicken parm that's a filet, and they're going to be happy about it. And guys, I'll be honest with you, for the last couple of months, I found myself in this rut in regard to content. I'm really consistent. I don't miss. That is something that I'm very passionate about, is that, like I said, if I'm not showing up, my competition's showing up, and I want them to always see me. That's me. I'm going to show up every single day. I've dialed in, but I've always dialed into my life. I've always dialed into the things that I'm going through. But the one thing that I think that I've lacked is always been the value side of my content. Like, don't get me wrong, I can get vulnerable. I can be funny. I can share different things. But value is hard to come by, mostly because I didn't think that what I was doing or what I was talking about was actually of value. How many of us have felt that way? Where we're like, I don't know what to offer my following. Like, I'm just a girl from Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, and I don't know what to say to these people. I've gone through this over and over and over again. You're not alone. I'm literally a 3-time elite coach who still deals with these feelings of like, I don't have value to add to these people. And so, and honestly, it's harsh and it's really horrible that we're telling ourselves that, but it's true. And the only thing that I really thought that I had to offer somebody was a boot camp and a business opportunity. And I know for a fact, a lot of times you guys think the same thing. And so that's all you talk about is a challenge group, the business, the challenge group, the business, the transformation, the business, right? And we forget that like there's so much more. We have so much value to offer these people. And the thing is that with leadership this weekend, I realized that I have so many things to offer my people. So I started thinking to myself, what do people ask me about? When I go into my DMs, what questions do I get? What posts are going crazy on my feed? What do people engage with or react to? And then I wrote all those things down. I did a huge audit on my social media. And honestly, a lot of the answers sounded super mundane to me. I was like, oh God, this is boring. I don't feel like that's exciting, but that's what they want from me. And it's not about me, it's about them, right? And I'm going to share an example of this shortly to show the kind of feedback that I got from that. And I also want to note that providing value does not mean that you need to go behind the scenes and create 1,000 free resources. We all just did an exercise showing how time is limited. So honestly, when I'm thinking about my current life right now, I don't have time to be creating tons of Canva stuff. I just don't. I want to be very straight to the point. When I'm talking when I'm talking providing value, I'm talking about doing this in 2 ways: Instagram stories and what's on your feed. The end. Okay. And so there's 3, we're going to start with Instagram stories. And like I said, I'm going to go quick, so I know we're at the end of the call. There's 3 ways to make a connection and provide value. Okay. Number 1, on your Instagram stories that we should see from you every single day is some sort of B-roll footage. And this is a news term, and I absolutely love it because I was a former news reporter. So when someone says B-roll to me, what that means is that it's video. I'm not talking, I'm not on there doing all this stuff, it's video. And so what you're doing in this B-roll footage is you're just giving someone a behind the scenes look at what you're doing. You can put some fun music over it. You can put some text over it. This is literally going to be for business. It can be for, you can be doing this while you're cooking. You can do this while you're checking with your challengers. The time-lapse feature on your cell phone is all you need to do this. Set it up in the corner as you're answering emails and tell people about your work hour, right? Set it up while you're working out. So the kids are all running around and they're seeing how crazy your life is and that you're still getting your workout done. Like that's the type of footage I'm looking for here. Set it up while you are on your tripod, while you're cooking dinner for your family and say how you're prepping this week, right? You know, set it up while you're mentoring coaches and have it facing your thing so they're seeing all the calls you're doing. It's a behind the scenes video of what you're doing every single day. And you can put some words over it and you're giving people an inside look at what you're doing. The second way to add value on Instagram is known as what's called the talking head, also a news term. So you guys know when like you're watching the news and there's that person sitting there and it's like, they're like giving the interview and it's just them on the screen. That's you. That's what you're doing on your stories. And we all know what this is. It's putting your phone in front of you and talking to your audience. You must do this. And for a lot of you, this is scary because you're like, oh my God, I have nothing to say. No, they need to hear from you. They need to hear your voice. They need to be talking to you. And at the end of the day, the thing is, guys, is that, you know, you want to talk to these people as if they were standing right in front of you. And you don't just have to talk about Beachbody. Maybe someone commented on your post that day and asked you what lipstick shade you were wearing. You can literally go onto your stories and talk about how you found the best lipstick ever. And this is the shade it is, and show them and add value to their life from that. Sure, you can do the coaching opportunity. You can share your vision. You can share what you're doing that day. You can ask them questions. You can be in the store and say, I can't decide between these two baby products. Mamas, have you, like, it's literally just talking to your audience and being a human being as if you were going out with them. And then the last way to add value every single day on your stories is through static photos. And what that means is that they're pictures that you guys have all seen on people's Instagram stories of like telling people what's coming up. So challenge group stuff, new programs, maybe it's a book club you're doing, things like that. But the goal is to keep them moving forward through your stories. So you want to keep it simple. Like, don't make it over. You don't have to like do all the fancy things. If you're finding yourself thinking that you need a special app in order to, you know, be really great at Instagram stories, or you need to do all, like, you don't. You just need to do those three things. You need to give them behind the scenes, look at what you're doing. You need to talk to them, and you need to do static photos. Okay, I'm going over posts, and then I promise I'm done. Another way to build connection is going to be through our posts, okay? And so these are 3 posts that you should be doing regularly. And I'm going to give you guys a homework assignment to help you guys bulk your content so that you don't have to be thinking in the moment. How many of us would like a strategy to be like, oh, I can get all of my posts done within like a day for the entire month? Okay. How many of us are so put up crappy posts because we're like, I don't know what to say today, and I just don't know what kind of value? Yeah. This is how we're going to avoid that. There's 3 types of posts. Number 1 is called the viral post. And this is something that used to not work, but now it works, okay? And what this means is a lot of us are like super weird about our feeds. I am one of those people. I like my feed to be in flow, but we need to get rid of that attitude. Right now, it's about value and serving your people. So your viral post, which is number 1, is something that's going to be easily shareable, and that's going to get saved or shared or get new eyes on your page. These are literally little quotes. Okay, you guys are probably all seen these things. They're like quotes. And the thing is, you guys can go out and find them on other accounts. Make sure you give them credit, of course. And it breaks up your feed. You pair it up with a good caption and you're good to go. So for instance, let me show you an example of this so you know what I'm talking about. This was one of my viral posts, okay? Right here. This is what I'm talking about. It was just a picture on my feed that said, you're the perfect mom for your family. I didn't say anything, but hey, just so you know, this got over 726 likes on it, okay? Like just by me just putting this out there, other moms were tagging other moms in it. And that was like what I'm talking about. It got new page. I can't see the stats on it right now, but I think the last time I looked at it, it was like shared to stories like 400 something times. That's what you're doing, because what that viral post does is it brings people to your page. So you want to obviously incorporate those into your feed, and you want to keep them with your brand. So you don't want to just throw up something because if you think it's funny, then you're probably going to be attracting your own people, but don't just throw up some inspirational quote because you think that's what you should be doing, right? Keep it along with who you are. The second type of post is the value post. And this is where you're trying to build a tighter bond with the people that you already have. These are the posts of where this is where like people are telling you what they want from you. So really quickly, I went onto my stories yesterday and I gave them my topic. So I want to sidebar this really quickly and let you guys know that you choose what you want to talk about, but you let them tell you what they want to know more about. And how you figure that out is you just go through and figure out who you are, right? Like it's really, you just have to like, it's a whole other conversation, but you have to take it and you have to break down who you are. So I encourage my coaches to usually go find 7 different things about them and to start figuring those things out. Well, I asked my following, I said, I gave them my 7 things. And I said, what do you guys want to know more about? Because again, I'm trying to add value. And I got all of these answers. So I took it and I put them all into a Google Sheet and I started writing them down. I asked them about motherhood. They said they wanted nursery decor tips, products I love, bedtime routine, the 6-month fog, swaddles for every stage. I told them about debt and finances. They gave me all kinds of topics. So they gave me literally all of my content. And you know what I did? I went by and went next to them and said, how can I serve my people? V is for video. P is for post. You'll see this can be a post or a video. And I said, these are how I'm going to talk about this stuff. And everybody gave me excuses on why they couldn't join my team. I wrote these things down and I'm going to talk about all these things. These people gave me my content for the next, probably the remainder of the year, just by me asking that question. And I'm going to go through that over and over again. So an example of what would be a value type of post, that's going to be something like this. This goes along with, this is a video I did on IGTV. I did this back in May, and I just literally gave them my top 5 nighttime must-haves for new moms. And it was just a short thing here. I go through a video and I explain that to them on what it was. So that was that. And those are different things, and that would go along with my brand. That went out of the motherhood one, something that they would want to hear from me. And then the last one, the last type of post is going to be your vulnerable post. Okay, so now you have your viral, you have your value, and now you're doing vulnerable. And this is where you're building a deep connection with your followers. And the goal in this one is to get them to say, me too. It's to get them to message you and say, thank you for that post. I really needed to hear that today. And so that one, as an example, and I'm going to give you guys the method on how I write these out. And this, again, is so newsy. So I'm like a nerd about this because I love things like this. But this would be an example of how you would do a vulnerable post. This is a picture of my daughter and my husband. And my caption literally says, there was a time in my life that I'd go to a restaurant, claim I wasn't hungry, and frantically search for the cheapest thing on the menu. I wish I could say that was 6.5 years ago before I started my business, but actually the last time I had that feeling was November of 2017, 3 years into this business and sitting in Las Vegas. It was the first I ever earned. And while things looked good on paper, 24 hours before that, I was sitting in a bar applying for a job to make some extra money for our family. So you can see that's really embarrassing for me to admit that, because at that time I was like trying to come off as like I was this elite coach making all this money and I was struggling. But that was a very vulnerable post of mine. And the way that I set this post up and the way that you guys can set up all of your posts, and hopefully this will help you guys write them from here on out, is to remember the term HICCA, H-I-C-C-A. Okay, I'm going to write these on for you really quickly. First is H, hook 'em. So you saw in that post, the first line was, there was a time in my life, go to a restaurant, claim I wasn't hungry, and frantically search for the cheapest thing on the menu. Does that make you want to keep reading? right? So you want to hook them right off the bat. That's the first line in all of your posts. Doesn't matter what you are, except like your viral ones, obviously. That's the first thing that you do. The second one, the I, is the intro into what you're talking about. So then I went into the next part where I said, I wish I could say that was 6.5 years ago, but I had that feeling last time, blah, 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 and talked about the money for our family. So I'm introducing them to kind of, this is what I'm going to be talking about to you. And then the C is going to be the content. That's the juicy details. That's when I tell them what happened to me. So I'm going to tell them like, okay, this is what happened to me that day. Like I had no business getting on the plane to go to Vegas. I felt like a poser. Zach and I flew our broke asses to Vegas to represent our team at a leadership event. Our team went to a dinner. We naturally wanted to go, but we were up to our ears in debt and we couldn't go. So we claimed we weren't hungry and we gently excused ourselves and ran to a Taco Bell to get dinner that night. So it was like the content of what happened to me that night. And then the CA at the end is the call to action. And the thing is, guys, is your call to action doesn't have to be, if you don't want to pay, like struggle for paying for dinner, join my boot camp. No, that's not what I'm talking about. It literally can say, has anybody ever had an embarrassing moment like this one? How did you come back from that? It's asking them a question and getting them to engage on your post. So how to get this all like in summary of this part, this isn't overwhelming, guys. You need to understand that posting is fun. Posting is so fun. And the thing is the faster that you get ahead of this and see how you can serve your people and how you want to get prepared, it makes it so much easier for you. Your audience is going to give you the best answers. Your Instagram is already telling your story. And if it doesn't, it's because you're not posting. It's because you're not sharing. It's because they don't know you yet. So the thing is that what you're trying to do is to think of a result that you have in mind. When you're posting, think of the result you have in mind and also be real with yourself. And so this is a sidebar, but you need to hear it. If you've never hit Success Club before, you probably shouldn't be throwing up coaching posts right now. And you know why? It's because you need to figure out how to get people in your challenge group first. And so your content should probably be targeted toward that to figure out how to overcome this obstacle of not hitting Success Club. How are you going to get them moving when you can't get yourself moving, right? So the truth is that you know you can get a transformation. You know these programs work. So start there with your content and then ease your way in the more that you learn. You know what this is all about. So post to that and attract your people in. That's the biggest thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that you guys can all do this. Every single one of you can post with intention. And I'm leaving you guys with a call to action tonight for myself. I want you to take what you learned tonight and I want you to create 15 value posts, 10 viral posts. Those are easy because you can go out and find some memes that are you, and 5 vulnerable posts. If you do that, you have 25 days of content done. And how you strategically do this on your feed, so that way it like does this, is just go ahead and go out there and just figure out what's coming up and how you're going to rearrange this. But again, you don't have to don't overthink it. Literally, you can go value, viral, you're wanting to add value every single day. Think about what's coming up. You can add that in there, but your people are going to give you the best answers. And to in summary for me, I want you guys to know this, and I'm going to kind of end this with what Carl said. And I need you guys to hear this. And I know this was long and I really appreciate you guys hanging with us for this. And I hope this was helpful. If this has been helpful, post in chat so I know that we're not wasting your time. I'm so excited about this, but I need you guys to hear this from me. And Natalie, are you cool if I just take this and run with it? Okay. Carl said something that hit me and you guys need to hear this. This year was not supposed to end, but this year was not supposed to go this way, right? We all know that. This was going to be our year. And we knew, and then all of a sudden life threw 70 million different challenges at us. And every single year, ever since I became a coach, I remember when I was a baby coach in 2014, I remember October hitting and I remember everybody telling me, top coach in the business, that this is the hardest time of the year. And I kept thinking to myself in this 2020, I said, you know what? That's bullshit because this entire year has been hard. So why should October, November, and December be any different? I'm not going to allow that. And if I go back and I look through all my numbers from September, October, November, December, I've been in this business for almost 7 years too. It's the same thing for my team every single year. Volume starts dipping in this time of year. But here's what I want to leave you guys with tonight. What if you reject that this year? What if you say, nope, not this year? Not this year, because it only has to be that way if I allow it to be that way. What if I raise the bar for myself and my team at the end of this year? What if I keep creating? What if I keep working really freaking hard? What if I keep keep showing up? What if I say this is dependent on me, not the holidays, not the time of the year? You're not just a part of an MLM, guys. You are held to a higher standard. You are in the business of changing people's lives. You're a hero to people who haven't been able to go on walks with their kids, people who've been fighting diabetes, people who've been fighting blood pressure medicine, people who have been hating the way that they look and have been staring at themselves in the mirror, disgusted with themselves for years. You're a hero to that person. You're not just part of another MLM. This is not just another thing where you print off a tracker and check off boxes. You are changing people's lives. So why should this time of the year be our time to believe that we need to take the foot off the gas and actually accept that this isn't going to happen for us this year? Your contribution is so important. And the reality is that me, your upline, whoever you are working with directly, we can't make you do shit. We can't make you show up, but I need you to know, and I'm saying this on this call to over 50 people tonight, that I'm just getting started. This company is just getting started. Carl is just getting started. Natalie is just getting started. And the success that we have had as a team up to this point is nothing compared to what's coming. And I really hope that you're around for when this business actually explodes and you see what I'm talking about. Remember this night. The thing is that some people are not going to get it. Some of you are going to be on this call and you're thinking, holy crap, that girl's insane. And there's no way. And you're saying, you don't understand what it's going to take to keep pushing, but some of you do. Some of you know what's going to come out on the other side of this, and you're excited about it. And the thing is that few people out there are going to understand why you're working so hard. They're going to tell you to take your foot off the gas. They're going to tell you you don't need this. They're going to tell you that this time of the year, do all those things and take your, just relax. You've worked so hard all year. 2020 sucks. Just throw in the towel and start over on January 1st. But I don't know about you guys. I'm freaking tired of hearing about 2021 because as far as I know, coronavirus is still going to be here in 2021. And my attitude has to reflect right now on how I want the rest of this year to go and how I want my 2021 to go. So here's the thing, guys. Don't lower your expectations. Don't lower your work standards to make someone else feel more comfortable. You have a dream placed on your heart. You were put here for a reason. Every single one of you are on this call, not by coincidence, but because God put you here right now to hear this message. Don't you dare lower your expectations to make someone else feel more comfortable, and don't let anyone steal your dream and tell you that you can't do this. Do not apologize for what you're doing. You have a magnificent foundation. You are part of a team that is ready to ride and to rise. And we're going to take this thing to another level. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know. I have sweaty pits thinking about it. But here's what you guys need to know. If you get to make that decision tonight. We can give you every social media, every time blocking, all the things. You get to make a decision tonight on how 2020 is going to end. So what will that be? That's what I got for you guys tonight. Thanks for hanging in here.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. We've never done an hour, 15-minute call. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for coming. I hope it was valuable. I'm going to end this with compliance and let you guys know we cannot post money anymore. Okay, so don't start putting up, I made $1,000 this month and Beachbody's awesome. You should become a coach. Like, you can talk about what money does for your family. Like, Beachbody's provided us the opportunity to put gas in my car or pay for groceries or pay my mortgage payment. But we have to stop putting figures because they're really starting to flag that. And we don't want you guys to get in trouble. So pass it along. Thank you for coming. We love you guys so much. If you need anything, we're all here. So let's kick some booty. Bye-bye.